welcome back to my channel and to a new vlog. Today is the Thursday, so that means I've got my usual 2 lectures today. But this week I've also got my supervision for landlord. That'll be this afternoon at Queen's College. I need to check over my essay that I've been working on to make sure that's finished, so I'll probably do that when I get to the faculty, and also prepare for my other supervisions I've got and looking over my lecture notes as well. So first of all, in terms of the lectures, the contract law lecture finished off on rectification in terms of the contents of a contract, and for international law we continued looking at the relationship between international law and English law, which was quite interesting. Next on the agenda I've got my supervision for land law. That's at 4 at Queen's. I need to do something beforehand, so I'm going to go and do that and then head over to Queen's. I printed off my essay, so I'll hand that in during the supervision. The supervision for land law went really well, so we were focusing on land registration and how it operates under the Land Registration Act of 2002, and that was quite useful because it's quite a complex area of land law, so it was good to have that supervision to help start to clarify certain aspects of it. And obviously I'll go away and then do some more research, do some more reading and organise my notes to clarify and help me even more. So that was good. Then afterwards there was a debate at the Union. The motion was, this House believes that the war on terror has made the world a safer place. Very good debate, so some really good speakers. So for example, we had someone who served under President Obama. We had 2 district judges from America. And it was just a really good debate, and I was helping out as part of my role as head of events management. And that went pretty much well as well. Then afterwards it was like a little bit of a social for the committee, just at the Union in the chamber, which was nice. It's obviously quite late now, as you probably can tell by the time, so I'm probably going to head off to bed. I'll catch you in the morning. So it's Friday, so that means I've got my first lecture at 11 o'clock, and then there'll be a lecture afterwards at 1. But before that I'm just going to head over to the faculty. I've still got supervisions for next week to prepare for, so I've got my international law supervision, my supervision for contract and my supervision for admin. But I think what I'm probably going to focus on, at least initially, is on preparing for my supervision for international law, which will be on the Monday. The land law lecture continues looking at co-ownership, and for administrative law that's not look at ouster clauses, and in particular a case that's recently been in the Supreme Court known as POC International, which is quite interesting. I'm going to head back to college now to first of all do a couple of things for YouTube, and then afterwards get on with preparing for my international law supervision that's on Monday. So I decided to take a break and go with a couple of my friends to the hall to have something for dinner. It was Friday, which meant there was fish and chips, which was delicious. I'm probably going to head to the library just for a couple of hours or so and get on with some supervision preparation. Probably focus primarily on international law, but I might do a bit for contract or admin. We'll see how things get on. Apart from a few bits and pieces which I still need to do, I've pretty much done most of the notes for my international supervision on Monday, which I'm pleased with. I'll be heading off to bed shortly, but actually someone's staying with me overnight. Let me just explain. So the Cambridge Union is putting on this debate tournament, and there's going to be people there from different universities, not just here in the UK like Oxford, but actually universities in America, for example Yale and Harvard. So it's quite a big tournament, and what they've needed is people to be willing to allow these people who are coming especially from America to stay in their rooms, and I've offered to allow someone to stay in my room for a night or 2. So he's arriving shortly, so I'll just be meeting him and then letting him stay here. Well, the plan for today, given that it is now the weekend, what I'll probably do for at least this morning is head off to the library, and there I'll probably just focus on contract and admin. So since I've done most of my notes for international, I'm going to put that to one side just for the time being and just get on with some note taking that I need to do for my supervisions on Tuesday. So I've just decided to take a bit of a break to have something for lunch, Just been focusing on note-taking for contract law, making good progress with that, but still quite a bit to do. So this afternoon probably I'll continue with that, try and get that finished hopefully, and then move on to a bit of note-taking for administrative law. I'm in the library at the moment, might change location, not too sure yet. First of all, I've pretty much done most of my notes for the contract law supervision, which I'm pleased with. I came back to my room and then me and a couple of friends made some stir fry and had that. That was really delicious, and it was just nice to spend some time away from the work and just relaxing for a bit. Probably for the rest of this evening, I've got a couple of bits I need to do for one of my videos that I need to upload, which will be out by the time this vlog comes out. And then probably just get on with some notes for administrative law. So I've just been going through the cases for my administrative law supervision on Tuesday, so just going through and looking through the judgments of those cases. The person that was staying with me last night will be staying with me again tonight. I've got quite a busy day tomorrow, just making sure everything's prepared for my supervisions. So just going through notes and answering the questions that I need to answer for those supervisions. Given that it is Sunday today, I'll probably be having brunch later on at some point. But before that, I'm going to head over to the library and just get on with some more supervision preparation. Probably going to focus initially on administrative law, and then probably, I might not get onto this till this afternoon, but then I'll probably have a look at international law afterwards. So first of all, the person who was staying with me has left now. He was quite a nice person, and it was just great to get to know him a bit while he was here. I've also had something for brunch, which was delicious. Be able to do that with my friends, which was good, and I've pretty much done most of my notes for admin law now, which I'm pleased with. I'm taking a break. There's something I need to do this afternoon, and then afterwards I'll probably just head back to the library and focus on international law. That supervision is tomorrow, so just need to focus on that and get that completed. I've made quite a bit of progress for international law in the library, which I'm pleased with. That's pretty much completed, not fully, so I'll need to work on that this evening. So that's probably what I'll be mainly focusing on, as well as doing a couple of bits and pieces. But there is something that I need to do before that. So yes, here we are again once more. I've just topped up my laundry card because I need topping up. Got my clothes with me. What I'll probably do is put the cycle on, and then while that's running, I will probably go to the shops actually, get a couple of things in, and then just continue on with some notes for international law, and then maybe do a couple of bits and pieces afterwards, depending on how time gets on. Laundry is done. I'm pretty much ready for my international supervision tomorrow, and I've managed to get a few bits and pieces done as well. I'm going to end it for today because I've got quite a busy day tomorrow with my supervision, as well as a few lectures on. Well, like I mentioned, I've got quite a busy day today with quite a few lectures on, starting off with a lecture for land law, and then afterwards at about 11:30 I've got my supervision for international law. So what I'm probably going to do is head over to the faculty now, because that first lecture for land law starts at 9 o'clock. So for land law, we continue looking at co-ownership. I'm heading over for my international supervision at Gonville and Keys. That'll be focusing on statehood, which should be quite good. And then afterwards, I've got quite a few lectures on this afternoon. So I've got my admin and family lecture as per usual. But then there's some additional lectures being put on that are going to be useful for the course. So there's an additional one for administrative and an additional one for family. So I'll be going to those as well. So it's going to be quite a busy afternoon full of lectures, but it'll be quite important as well. So I've somewhat had a few things on since my international supervision, so I'll just go through things. First of all, international supervision was really useful, so we looked at statehood and went through some of the questions, looking at the key ideas of statehood, what it means to be a state, how a state's recognised, and then afterwards had two lectures, one for administrative law, which finished off looking at ouster clauses and looking at the previous international case, and then for family law, continuing on looking at financial remedies on divorce and dissolution. And then there were some additional lectures on, like I mentioned. So first of all, there was one for admin. Well, I would say it was for admin. It was useful for me as someone studying administrative law, but it was also useful for those who were taking constitutional law in their first year, for example. and that was given by two professors, one of them who I just had for Minister of Law, and that was looking at the Precinct National case in more detail, which was quite helpful, and there was opportunity for questions at the end. And then afterwards there was an extra lecture for family law, and that was put on by representatives of a firm, and what they did is they had like this fictitious scenario based on divorce and like the financial remedies aspect of family law, and went through it and acted through it, and just to give us an idea of kind of how it works in practice and how the law works in practice, looking at the facts of it, etc. And that was quite useful and beneficial. Probably this evening I'm going to first of all have something to eat because I haven't done anything for dinner, and then afterwards probably just do some little preparation for my supervisions that I've got tomorrow, one for contract and one for admin. So I'm pretty much ready for my 2 supervisions tomorrow. Just quickly go through and just make sure I've got everything tomorrow morning. I've got the 2 supervisions tomorrow, and I've got a lecture on tomorrow as well. So it's a relatively busy day tomorrow. Not as busy, but still quite busy. So I'm heading over to the faculty now for my one and only lecture of the day, and that doesn't start till 11 o'clock. That'll be for contract, and then afterwards I'll be heading over to Sydney Sussex College for my contract law supervision. So as soon as the lecture's over, I'll be heading straight there. For our contract lecture, we started looking at exclusion clauses that can often appear in contracts. And for my contract law supervision, we focused on some of the ideas in the formation of a contract, like certainty, intention to create legal relations, and the rule of privity. So that was quite useful. We went through like an essay question and a problem question, and I found that very helpful. Head over now to my administrative law supervision. That'll be focusing on void and voidability and ouster clauses, so that should be quite interesting. Then likely afterwards I'll probably just come to the faculty to get on with some note taking that I need to do for family law. First of all, the supervision for administrative law went quite well, so that was focusing on void and voidability and ouster clauses. So we were just going through some of the key aspects, some of the key theories in relation to those topics, and that was quite useful. And then afterwards I stayed at the faculty for a bit just to do some notes for my family law super on Monday, and then afterwards headed over to the union. There was a panel on immigrant identity, which was quite interesting, and then afterwards they showed what was left of the general election debate. I'm probably not going to do a lot before I head off to bed this evening. I might just do a little bit more for family law, I'm not too sure. So given that it is Wednesday today, that means I've got my 4 lectures. First one will be starting at 9 o'clock, and then the others will follow on from that. So I'm going to head over to the faculty now to go to those lectures, but I also really want to try and get quite a bit of family law note taking done as well, because there's quite a lot to do for that supervision next Monday. So for international law, we finished off looking at international law in relation to English law. For contract, we continued looking at exclusion clauses. For land law, we continued on looking at co-ownership. And for family law, we finished off looking at financial remedies in respect of divorce and dissolution. There'll be a bit more about financial remedies in the next lecture. I need to do a couple of things in town, need to get a couple of things sorted, then probably head back to Homerton and focus on family law and land law. So in the end I just decided to stay in town because there was an event on at the union on the evening. So after getting done what I needed to get done, I just had something to eat at Spoons, and then just went to the union, had a speakers event on, which was quite interesting, a very interesting talk. They had actually 2 speakers involved in it, so that was quite interesting. I'm probably, before I head off to bed, going to get on with some notes for family law and maybe some notes for land law. We'll see how time gets on. So I decided just to focus on family law because there's still quite a bit to do before the supervision on Monday. So I decided just to focus on that. And with that comes the end of another vlog. Week 6 is over. There's only a couple of weeks or so left of term, which I cannot believe, but yeah, just a couple more weeks left or so. Hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have, don't forget to do the usual things as always, liking the video, comment if you've got any questions or anything you want to point out, or any queries or anything like that. Any suggestions for videos, put them in the comment section below. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, links down in the description below. You can also share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date with any new videos and any new content that comes out. Hope to see you all in the next video vlog.